Good.
I'm going to make it more simple than you did, to wake them all up. Okay? So I'm simple on the cows like it's simple. The more you complicate things on the cows, the more you complicate it on your head. Can you see from there? Yeah. So, for a dairy farmer, what does heat stress mean? Milk goes down, feed intake goes down, profit goes down, disease goes up, and breeding goes down. For a cow, it means I'm exhausted, I can't sweat, I don't want to eat, I need cold water, I need cold air, I can't get pregnant, and I feel sick. This is simple language, without making it too complicated on everybody. These are cows. So, is it pastoral losses? Is it FMD? Is it heat stress? I got some people who thought it was FMD. Another example. Another example. They look like FMD. So the solution is a win-win, as Franklin Covey says. Make me happy, I make you happy. So how can we do that with this curve? Now, the temperature and humidity index, it is true, theoretically. When the temperature goes up, humidity goes down. But with the coral cool, mostly everybody here knows about coral cool, this doesn't work. The coral cool depends on this. So basically, if the humidity comes in and there's less water coming out from the coolers, it's like you having a shower and sitting in the bathroom in the steam. You'll be sweating your ass. So the solution is to remove the humidity bubble. Don't let your system in coral cool work with the humidity sensor. Remove it. When you keep the water pouring on the cows, even if it was 100% humidity, it's amazing. It's magic. It's just you press a button. No effect. Humidity. Zero effect. And try to push the bedding up. Get the cows closer to the cooler. When you get them closer to the cooler, from our trial in our company, we didn't drop 1 liter while everybody was crying. So remove the humidity sensor from the coral pool and make sure the bedding is clean and don't complain, because the humidity will soil the bedding. The location of the coral pool is normally done by everybody. They put it in the middle where the cows are sitting. And you all have the head nozzles. If you pushed the coral pools in 1/2 meter only, you can all remove the head nozzles. Because then the coral pool will be hitting the cows from the back, and you don't need the head nozzles. That will make your yard cleaner, and mastitis will go down. And it's important to see how many coral pools you need. Normally everybody is talking about pushing the yards up, the roofs up. We went down. Our roof is only 3.7 meters. That's it. And instead of putting 16 cooler in that house, we used 12. So we saved 4, and that was good news for the young stock, because we took them for the young stock. The shed design. You have to do a low sandwich panel roof, enough coolers, a roof monitor in the middle to get all the gases out, curtains, and yards. The milking order, left or right of the house goes out first, and the wind direction. It took me 20 years to understand that. You have a house with a shed, with 2 houses. When the cows go out, the cooler goes off. So, let's say it was like this, and the wind is coming from here. So what we do, we open, let's say, 4 valves for this house, 3 valves for this one, because there's 1 valve extra that will be pushed by the wind to the other side. So if you let this house goes out first and the wind is pushing, this house will be without cooling when the coolers go off here. So this house has to go out to the parlor first. So you have to notice these things. This is humidity. I nearly terminated my plumber. I thought the pipe was broken inside there. On this, we didn't drop 1 milliliter. On this, you can see the electricity is gone there. Stripped by the humidity. There was no electricity, but the cows are eating, and you can see how much. Sorry, you can see how much food has been taken from there. Now, I would say there's a formula for cooling the cows. Proper roofing, proper bedding, plenty of cool water to drink, wetting the cow surface, wind movement, could be coolers, and break the direct sunlight coming inside underneath your shed, and monitor the cow reaction after all of that, but the location, volume, speed is crucial for all of it. When the humidity comes, you can't really see it with your eyes. The droplets are very fine. So what's happening is the cow cannot sweat. It's covered with this humidity, so-called. And that's the only way for you to get the heat out of the body of the cow. So these droplets are so fine in weight that they sit on the surface. And then it's all hot now, all hot droplets. So it becomes a hot blanket on the cow. And you are happy that you reduced your cooler. But the cow is suffering. So when you allow the cooler to push the water down, the droplets are taking the heat away from the cow and moving away. And this is the most important thing, that you understand your cow language. What's the language of the cow? Comfortable respiration, no grouping under or away from the coolers. It has to be an even location of all the cows in the yard, under the shed. No extra gathering around drinkers. But be careful here, because when they eat, they could be there after eating. So don't misjudge it as heat stress. Lying down, chewing the cud. This is a cow language, that she's happy. But she could be standing after feeding time, so don't misjudge again. And they could be standing because of ammonia. So you have to check. The drop in milk is another cow language, but check days in milk as well. And check there's no increase in disease. And check there's no drop in conception rate. All these are just words from the cows to tell you how you are doing. I just wanted to mention about this feeding. Normally the cow, when she goes to the milking parlor, let's say she milks, she's happy to go there, she knows the time exactly, she's 10 minutes on the gate waiting for the cow pusher. She knows the time, she's not stupid. When they come back, they run to eat, and most of them actually eat in the same location. They spend nearly 40 minutes to 1 hour getting rid of the heat after they eat. I'm talking about high cows, because there's high energy in the food, so they try to get rid of the heat. They stand, they puff, they stand under the coolers until they get rid of the heat. If you want to reduce their time standing there, increase in your automatic system of the cooler 1 hour an extra valve. The cooling, there's 5 valves of water going. So if she needed 3, put 1 more for 1 hour. To get her to sit down faster. The more she sits down, the more she gives you milk. Now, you can see the cows are not happy here, because that formula I was telling you about is not there. There's no wind movement, there's not enough water, the cows are all standing, and they're standing around the drinker. The bedding, make sure it's comfortable. The passages, they are the most important neglected area by all of us. Because the cows are happy in the shed, they are happy in the parlor, hopefully, but what about the passage? Do you allow them to go running? Or all the tongues are out? Put drinkers, let's say every 20-30 meters of the passage. Cover all the passages, make them wide enough, and put flooring. I know you will have an increase in lameness at the beginning, but if you don't have water, the manure will be good enough as a bedding. It's dry. Just scrape it every now and then. It will kill all the rough edges. But the areas where you have constantly water or showers, just put in the wet areas some rubber mats. I know they're expensive, but whatever is possible. We noticed the cows in this shed pull back from the first cooler. So we put an umbrella. It's an easy idea, just like in a coffee shop. Just break this direct sunlight from going in. The cows pull back. That reduces the pressure on the second cooler. Compare this one to the last one. You see how the cows are happy? They're all sitting down. She was nosy, she wanted to see what I was doing, that's why she's up. But the whole house, you can see, there's a sandwich panel roof, there's an even location of all these cows. They're all happy, they're all chewing the cud, there's curtains, and there's no ammonia, because there was ammonia, the cows would not be sitting down. Maybe one day just put your head on the floor there and try to breathe. If you can breathe, she can breathe. If you can't, don't ask her to sit down, and don't ask her for milk. And the easiest way to get rid of the ammonia is just by cultivation. Just cultivate the ground. It will aerate all the flooring, plus it will kill all the anaerobic bacteria, plus it will get out all the heat, because the urine inside is heat. Just open the ground. And I'll give you another tip from me. We don't use any chemicals for flies in the farm. We never use. Where the cows are, we just cultivate in front of the houses every 2-3 days. And when the tractor comes in, all the birds come behind. Because the flies, they lay eggs in the wet sand. And when we cultivate, we are killing the eggs. And then the maggots come up and the birds pick them all up. And anybody is welcome to see our farm. There's no flies. And the calf house, which is the manure of the calf house, is the main attraction for the flies. And the supply of molasses will not like if I told you that I don't feed molasses for my cows. There's no flies in the cow sheds, and the milk went up. These are showers that we made in the farm. Very simple. We just calculate the distance that the cows have to walk to get back or forth from the yards. So they are going to definitely go under the sun in the outside yard to get to the parlor, which is maybe 30 meters, and then they are under the roof. Within 2 to 3 meters, we hit them with showers, totally soaked. The udder will not be touched by the water because of the flap and the flank. So they are soaked, they are very smart, they will try to walk on the edge. So we made obstacles from the 2 sides, to force them to go in, plus the water will not go out and soil your yards. And then you follow them, depending on your location in the world. See after how long they need to be wet again, and put another shower. It's only just nozzles, there's around ½ a meter between them, and this water goes back to a drain to the wastewater treatment facility, and then it comes back again. So we don't waste one drop of water. That's another more clear picture. We You can see the cows are spotless, clean. And then things to remember. Each shed is different, each house is different, each cow group is different, each dairy farm is different, each country different, and each dairy manager is different. Thank you. Now you can hammer my head with questions unless I finish.
Please, if you have any questions.
I hope it was something.
Very.
The droplet size in your showers, is it heavy or is it mist?
The what, sorry?
The droplet size of the water.
It's just a normal one, just like the corral pool. Same size.
How often do you remove the bottles
Of the yard or from the house?
from the area? How often?
We don't use sunflowers. At the end of, when the cows go to the milking parlor, we just create everything outside. So this is Dubai, don't do it in Germany. So when it goes outside, in half an hour, everything is dry. So we don't need to have all this headache. When you cultivate the outside, it's all dry and there's no smell. And your neighbors will not complain. The passage, depending on the need. Depends on the need. We have to wash our drinker by sucking the water out. So we use that water to clean the main passage where the showers are. And that will go back to the sucker, to the wastewater, to the pipe. So it depends on your needs.
Good afternoon to you. I'm one of your competitors from. One question is, my name is Dr. Shah. You said to remove the humidity sensor bulbs. So when you do that, what will be the humidity?
Just forget it.
You don't measure the
Forget it.
humidity
You don't need it.
because they say the temperature humidity index is the one which is a stressful factor. So if somebody, a layman asks me, what is your humidity over there? I say 90%, I say 80%, I say 100%.
You can measure it and write it in your book. But it doesn't really matter. At the beginning, when the humidity used to come, we were like this, handcuffed.
Yeah.
It was amazing, like just you remove the sensor, keep this water pouring on the cow. No effect. But remember one thing. See, the way the coolers are working, the settings, you do settings for the cooler, but you put it according to temperature, correct? Now, that means your cows that are high are getting like the medium cows, like the low cows, like the dry cows. But when it is 50 degrees Celsius, the high cows have 5 full valves of water open. Your medium cows need 4. Your low cows need 3. Your dry cows need 2. And your heifers are playing outside. Just try it and see. The amount of energy in the food, that will control for you how many valves you open in your pool. You don't need to open all the same. It's how much she's sweating. She doesn't sweat. How much she needs heat out. Depending on that, how much you open from the cooler. So in a normal way, you have the parlor, you put around it zone 1, which is your high cows. They would maybe all go in the same setting. And then zone 2, the medium cows, different setting. Zone 3, zone 4. Low cows, dry cows, heifers. You don't want your high cows to be walking long distances. But you don't mind your low cows to walk maybe 2 houses behind. And what's behind is not walking, it's just sitting there. But it's mainly what's in the food, how much energy. Because that's going to create heat in the body, and the cow needs to get rid of it. So the high cow's requirement for how many valves open is different from the low, different from the medium. You don't do all the settings the same.
So when we measure the humidity out there, it will be by a hygrometer. It will be 90%, 100%, 95%, whatever the humidity at that.
Whatever the humidity is, I showed you that picture of the house with humidity. We didn't change the settings of the cooler. It's the same. Humidity comes and goes, we don't even look at it. We clean more the air. Because the roof is pouring water. But otherwise, on the cow, the only extra bit you can do is just to push the yard under the cooler up. Get the
Increase
cows,
the height, yeah.
get the cows closer to the cooler. How much closer? You can touch the cooler with the nose. You can touch it. That's how much we push up. But the effect on milk, zero. Not all.
What I feel the main effect is the passage, the cooling system, the passage has made a difference. So.
Yeah, that depends on your wind flow. I didn't put any fans. We put fans, and then we ended up not using them. Because when the humidity came, the way the fans are designed, mostly the water is going to drip inside it and trip it, to break. So if you are lucky and you have some wind movement in your area, that's more than enough to hit a wet cow. It's like if you go to the beach here in Dubai and it's 50 degrees Celsius, you are boiling. When you get in the water, you don't need more than seconds in the water and pull out. And if there's any wind movement, your hair will stand.
Evaporative cooling.
You'll chill. So that's the whole idea. No matter how hot it is, wet the cow. It doesn't matter the temperature, normal temperature, like don't go and boil the water and send it over for showers. Just normal temperature. You don't need to do complication.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How do you reduce the ammonia emission in your home?
Sorry.
Ammonia emission, like ammonia smell.
Just do cultivation.
Like you keep that dry the floor? You dry floor?
No, it isn't about it. It's preventing compaction. The ammonia is mainly generated from urine,
Yeah.
manure, and mainly compacting.
Yeah.
So if you regularly just cultivate the land, best to be a comfortable bedding for the cow. All the heat will come out and all the ammonia will get out. That's the main thing. The ammonia was coming, not coming in this room, it's coming inside the toilet.
Yeah.
And the farm is a big toilet. So you just need to
So
dry.
keep dry daily.
Yeah, just cultivate.
Yeah.
And make sure you have a proper airflow to get it out. I saw a lot of farms where the central roof on top of the feeding passage is closed. How is the ammonia going to get out?
Thank you.
Thank you. Right, thank you very much.
How much time do we have for lunch?
Any question from Mr. Bob?
No, I think it's too hard.
Well, if you have any, we will have an open discussion at the end of the session at 4:30, and you can always come back. So we have a break for lunch till 1:45. You can all make it.